like the video to save the turtles.
What the 7 of us are attempting is very risky. I suspect they are not the only ones watching, but it must be done or we lose the bridge forever. I speculate that no one calculated the formation of the island, that interdimensional matter collisions would resolve rather than push. Now that I witnessed it firsthand, it's obvious that pinching alone made it inevitable.
The timer for the upcoming Season X event is just under 5 days. That's how long we have until we finally get this thing underway, until we're finally able to find out what the Visitor has been planning, why the rocket's been rebuilt, why all the Rift Zones came back, and just so much more for this season. Guys, make sure to drop a like on this thing if you enjoy, and make sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and of course, you want to see more. I'm uploading here on the channel, keeping you fully updated on what's happening within the world of Fortnite Battle Royale. So, in the intro of this video, I played for you recent leaked clips of the Visitor in the game's coding. It's the first time that we've actually been able to hear him speak. As you may have heard, the Visitor says, "I speculate that no one calculated the formation of the island, that interdimensional matter collisions would resolve rather than push." That's a direct quote from him, and maybe this is due to something that happened during the island's formation. He does mention that someone or something miscalculated the formation of the island, and then he goes on to say interdimensional matter collisions resolved rather than pushed, at least in their minds. That's obviously not how it worked out. The Visitor himself was most likely responsible for building all the Rift beacons and building everything that brought these POIs back this season, and with each one it seems like it brought us a little bit closer to this event. We're obviously in some kind of time loop, right? The Visitor has said that, and that's why everything is happening the way it is, but maybe due to something at the time of the island's formation, as said by the Visitor, it caused a massive problem. When the Visitor says, "I speculate that no one calculated the formation of the island," I'm left wondering, who is he talking about in that sentence? Who exactly is no one? Who should have been calculating the formation of the island? I got to thinking about it a little bit, and I remembered a very old theory about Battle Royale, pretty much a theory that has been said and I guess heavily assumed since the beginning of this game. That theory is Battle Royale is a testing/training ground for actual soldiers before they go in to save the world, which of course I guess technically is the main part of Fortnite. There are several different reasons to believe this is true. Number one, think about what happens when you die in BR. You literally just get zapped up, right? Perfectly zapped up by some little robot. There's no blood, it doesn't say killed, it says eliminated in the kill feed, and you can just keep going in over and over and over, and every time you die this keeps happening. So maybe the formation of the island itself was miscalculated by whoever was responsible for forming it in the first place from the Save the World version of the game. I was asking on Twitter today if you guys had any theories or anything you might want to add after today's set of leaks sort of came out. I got this from TJCRM, and he says, "I had an extremely long one, but I'll try to cut it down. The voice recordings that we first heard today are voice acted by, I mean, it sounds very much like him, the actor for Dr. Venderman from Save the World. I believe that this isn't a coincidence and done on purpose. I think that Dr. Venderman and the Visitor are the same person, and the 0 point has jumbled up in time. In Save the World, he supposedly died, but the 0 point has brought him back through another reality." It's funny because we were just talking about who from Save the World could have been overseeing the original formation of the island, and it sure as heck seems like Dr. Venderman, who, let's be honest, it does sound very similar. The two voice audios, I'll quickly play them for you here so you can compare.
Not much, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But I believe my memories may be stored on an external hard drive. If you turn that on, I may be able to recall more.
What the 7 of us are attempting is very risky. I suspect they are not the only ones watching, but it must be done or we lose the bridge forever.
Yeah, it sounds pretty much like the same person, very close. The Visitor's identity has been a secret, and there has been zero known on his intentions. We still don't really know that's in fact the description of the original Visitor outfit. He's been so mysterious, we don't know why he came, but we do know he is the single most important character in the entire story. Why do I know this? Because he was the first secret skin at the end of a season, and he's also been the last of at least what appears to be the end of this storyline for the current island, as we anticipate getting an all-new map and story next season. He's the most important character, and there is so little actually known about him that I feel like the Visitor could very well be the person who created the island, possibly Dr. Vinderman from Save the World based on the similarities of the audio sounds. And maybe when the Visitor is talking about the formation of the island in the audio cue, he's referencing himself by saying, no one calculated the formation of the island. Maybe he's referencing that he is one of the 7, and maybe the 7, as we know, collectively the 7, could have, in general, miscalculated the formation of the island, and ultimately could have been responsible for what's been happening in the game with all of these new places coming back and rifts and, time getting disoriented. Maybe from the very start of the season, the Visitor and the 7 have been trying to accomplish something, but based on a miscalculation, everything's gone wrong, and now they're attempting something very risky, very last second-ish to try and rectify everything. And that would make sense because the Visitor also does say in the audio cues, what the 7 of us are about to attempt is very risky. Check this out from Nova Equalizer, and they say the cube plays a way bigger role than we have been led to believe. In the Visitor's tape, he mentions the formation of the island. We've literally just talked about that for the past several minutes. The first thing that went through my head when I hear the formation of the island is the formation of the Battle Royale island, but obviously Nova differs a little bit here. He says it would make sense to be referencing the Cube Island. Who knows what Kevin is doing? It must be very important to the storyline, though. It is possible he might be talking about the Cube Island, because as you know, the Cube Island was very important in the game even before Season X, but the importance of it was emphasized even more when it came back to Season X, and obviously, in case you didn't know, Kevin and his island spawned in Fatal Fields earlier this season, and he's been going clockwise all the way around the map, and he's almost back to his original point that he spawned in. It's been speculated that Kevin is actually the countdown to the end event coming up here soon, and it would make sense seeing as he's almost back and the event is about to happen in just 4.8 days or so. We just finished talking about a miscalculation, and maybe they talked about their plan in reference to Kevin's Island. Remember, one of the very first things that happened after the Visitor actually left back in Season 4 during the original Rocket event was the formation of Kevin the Cube. So really, I think the Visitor may have had something to do with that formation of the cube originally, because it came from the same spot he went, straight out of the same rift. So who am I to say it's the formation of the Battle Royale Island? It could just as easily be the formation of the Cube Island, because of course, I just went over where the cube came from and why that makes sense. Let me know in the comments section what you think. It could very well be either, and that's what I love about the community that I've created here on my channel. You guys have so many good points in the comments, and trust me, if you leave something in the comments, I read it all the time. I'm always on the lookout for the best theories and stuff I can cover on the channel, and I love to give credit where credit's due by giving you guys a mention. But anyway, back to my point here. It doesn't matter what you think, as long as you can back it up in some way and give me a reasonable theory as to why you might think that way. Every theory's right until disproven. And I know Epic does all of this on purpose to make it as complicated for us to figure out as possible. And it's awesome. I really love the way Fortnite's got their story going. Looking ahead to the future of Season 11, I really hope the storyline remains just as good. I don't know if it's going to be like, a continuation of the current Fortnite storyline, or if it's going to be a brand new thing, or even if there will be any tie-in together whatsoever. It's going to be fun though. I gotta say, one of the biggest things Fortnite has going for it right now that really no other game comes close with, in my opinion, at least of this genre in particular, is the storyline. New things added every week that update the storyline, and of course, who can forget the build-up to the event and ultimately the event itself that we get to experience at least once per season. If you didn't know, mark it on your calendar. The event is set for October 13th, which is a Sunday, at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's 11 a.m. Pacific, noon Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. UK time, just to name a couple other time zones. And I am going to be live for it on Caffeine.tv. Guys, if you're not following me over on Caffeine.tv already, you're missing out. Simple as that. I love to go live several times a week, and I do a lot of gift customs where you guys come and play a custom game on my stream. If you win the game, you get a gift. I've been doing this for several weeks, several months actually, so definitely go over and check it out if you haven't already. Shameless plug. But the reason I bring that up is because I'm going to be streaming the event over there, obviously, and you're going to want to be there. It's a great time. Obviously, I love you guys. I love the community that I built. I just said that earlier. And it'll be awesome to share that moment with a lot of you guys, which I'm really excited about. What do you think is going to happen for this event? As far as we know the rocket is going to launch. Obviously, there's a timer right above the rocket in the game, so it's pretty safe to assume the rocket is at least going to launch. But after that, I'm not really sure exactly what we're in for. It's really going to be a surprise. I hope the event lasts for, around 5 minutes at least. The long events are awesome. I really enjoyed how Season 9's event went down. I thought it was very nicely choreographed and designed, and everything was awesome. From the animations to what actually happened to the music, it was amazing. So I hope the end event actually capitalizes on even more of what we know Epic Games is capable of. I'm excited to finally figure out what's going to happen. We're only 5 days away from Season 11, and I can't wait to go along for the journey with you. Hopefully it brings Fortnite a little extra, a little extra kick, because it really needs it right now. Guys, make sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, or at least consider it if you want to see more. I'll catch you in another one very soon, and until then, take it easy, and peace out.